How's it going, my fellow classmates? My name is Jax, and today I'm going to be presenting to you a case for why a very popular book series from many of our childhoods should actually be banned. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure I clarify that my goal with this video is not to just simply spread hate towards these books. When I was younger and I first read these books, I was actually a huge fan of them, and I know that a lot of other people actually really enjoyed them as well. However, now that I'm older, in hindsight, I can actually see that these books might have caused a lot of harms that nobody was really considering at the time. The goal of this video is simply to highlight these harms and explain why they might actually be a reason for the book series to be banned. Now that all of that is out of the way though, I think it's time we go ahead and jump straight into the main meat of the video. So if you all didn't already know, the book series that I've been referencing this whole time is actually the I Survived books by Lauren Tarshis. As you can see here, I was not lying in the intro. I have nearly all of the I Survived books here in my room. So this does prove that I was indeed a big fan of these books. In case you aren't already familiar with them, these books are all just different depictions of many tragic events such as the bombing of Pearl Harbor, Hurricane Katrina, 9/11, there's even one about the Joplin tornado. What makes these books unique, however, is that they all choose to follow a fictional protagonist living through and surviving all of these tragic, real events. That was just a short summary of what these books typically consist of, but I'll make sure I delve further into the actual plot of a few of them later on in the video. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for, what has led me to convert from being a fan of these books as a kid to now believing that they should be banned as a book series completely? Well, upon further analysis, I think that these books might have actually been glorifying many natural disasters and other events that were very harmful to many people. In order to fully explain what I mean by this, I'm going to use the book I Survived the Joplin Tornado as an example, as I know that that particular event holds a very large importance to many of us. The Joplin tornado was an extremely devastating event, killing 158 people, injuring over 1,000, and causing almost $3 billion in property damage. The EF5 tornado completely tore apart many helpless families and caused trauma that still exists today. So, let's look at how exactly this event played out for the protagonist of the I Survived the Joplin Tornado book. Well, Dexter, the 11-year-old protagonist of the book, was actually able to survive this event by hiding in a bathtub while his house was completely demolished all around him. Their house was badly damaged, but both Dexter and his entire family came out of the tornado completely unscathed. Now, I know what you're thinking. Children's books being far-fetched is usually nothing out of the ordinary. Almost all of them are. The issue comes in with the I Survived books though, because they are depicting real tragic disasters that affected real people. The victims of the real Joplin tornado did not have it as easy as Dexter did hiding in a bathtub in the book. This is exactly how these tragic events end up being glorified in the I Survived books. And when children continuously read through this book series where each time the protagonist makes it through the tragedy and lives happily ever after, some real problems can end up being caused. For instance, when I was a younger kid and I read through the I Survived books for the first time myself, I actually ended up developing a sort of obsession or hyperfixation on natural disasters, particularly tsunamis. After reading the I Survived the Japanese Tsunami book, where the protagonist survives by floating on a refrigerator, I'm not lying, that's actually how he makes it. After reading this, the only message I really received was that tsunamis are really cool. I began watching every YouTube video or movie I could find that had a tsunami in it. In my mind, it was just big way funny, you know, and I didn't really comprehend at the time just how harmful these events can really be. And that's where the problem with these books truly lies. You can't make a book series about real tragedies and then always have everything go right for the main character. All that does is glorify the events to the young reader instead of explaining the true nature of how devastating the events really were. I think all of this may have led to many children getting the wrong impression about some of these events, and may have even been very offensive to the victims of these events. And for me, that is a good enough reason to say that these books should be banned. As far as the solution to this goes, I'm not saying that these books need to be very dark and gruesome, explaining every little detail of how people were killed and otherwise hurt by these events. I think there is a happy medium somewhere in there. The I Survived book should give an accurate depiction of how terrible the disasters truly were, while still being tame enough for younger readers to handle. Until that happy medium is reached though, however, I think the I Survived books are simply just too harmful to be shown to a younger audience. But I mean, yeah, that's just what I think, and some of you might disagree, so if you do, let me know. But for now, thank you all for watching, and have a great day.